Welcome back. Still Breakfast Central on News Central on a Wednesday, 60th of November 2019. Still lots to talk about, but you can join the conversation with us right here on social media. We're very, very social. Hashtag NC Breakfast Central on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and you can also watch us live on YouTube. Don't forget to log on to the website. That's www.newscentral.africa. Right then, we move on. Recent news broke out about the removal, or you might say the disqualification, to quote unquote, of the Genevieve-directed debut movie Lionheart from the Oscar nomination category for Best International Film. Now, this has really sparked lots of conversations about what really went wrong with the submission, because to quote unquote, they talk about language use, and so much of the movie had been in English. That was really a controversial backlash in it. Well, to really dissect this story, I'm joined by veteran broadcaster and culture critic, Ireti Bakare-Yusuf. Morning, man. Welcome to Breakfast Central.
Hi there. You're very kind. Veteran. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That's sweet.
Okay. Let's talk about this, this issue about the movie Lionheart. Not every Nigerian is happy that it's not going to make a nomination, though it was submitted. And when they hear the story about, okay, the non-English speaking, and most of it was in English, do you think maybe some Nigerians will say, but we have our languages, why didn't they just go with, that? Do you think we have some justification to really have this?
What, to be upset?
Angst? Yeah.
No, we don't.
Why so?
We failed ourselves. We literally,
when you say
we let ourselves down.
Nigerians or the Oscar nomination committee? Given
that the committee is supposed to be representing Nigeria.
Or Nollywood?
Nollywood, Nigeria. We have to remember that Nollywood is not just a film industry. It's also an industry that actually represents our language, our culture, our behavior, our idiosyncrasies. So you mustn't separate it. Look at when lots of British directors do well at the Oscars, the Brits claim it's a win for Britain. So this is a Nigeria issue.
Yeah. So, right? So they're justified in saying this is a missed opportunity.
We messed up. Forget missed. Let's not beat about the shit.
You're really having with the word.
Yes, we really. No, but we have to take. Look, we can break the responsibility down. We know it's the NOSC, the Nigerian Oscar Selection Committee. They are the ones who are fundamentally responsible
for selecting.
However, knowing the rules. So, of course, let's dissect it.
Okay.
The rules are there. International Best Film Award used to be called Best Foreign Film.
Or Best Foreign Language.
Right. Okay. Now, in this era of inclusivity, they changed it to International Best Film, right? Okay. But the rules remained the same. And the rules were a film predominantly in non-English dialogue or track, as they call it, the technical
Okay.
Now, we had 3 nominations. We had 3 choices to pick from.
Okay.
We had Mokalik, Lionheart, and
King of
Boys.
Okay.
So King of Boys, Kemi Adetiba, Lionheart, directed by Genevieve Nanji, and Mokalik, directed by Kunle Afolayan. Right. So now think about it. So as we Nigerians, that's why I said it's a Nigerian thing. We're bilingual, right? Everybody speaks in half English, half Yoruba, half English, half Hausa, half Igbo, half Tiv, whatever, right? We mix it all together as we communicate with each other.
Language
However,
is English.
That's where you're wrong.
Okay.
Now, so the choices, you had these 3 choices. All 3 choices are bilingual. However, the rules say predominantly non-English dialogue. Okay. So, King of Boys was put aside. It then became...
Let's go to King of Boys. It's a good movie.
Very good movie.
It has lots of Yoruba dialogue.
And also English.
English dialogue.
Right?
And Yoruba subtitling.
And Yoruba subtitling and English subtitling, etc., right? So, obviously, they felt that...
From what you've watched, and
I've seen all 3, by the way.
Yeah, from the category, from the rules. Do you think that would have stood King of Boys specifically? I'm not sure if we really have, snippets of that movie trailer. Do you think that movie would have, done it? Because I thought it was a good movie, and he had lots of Yoruba, so I was comfortable with it. Do you think it would have made it?
Right. Staying within...
a better chance if submitted rather than...
Right, staying within the category in which we were participating in, King of Boys, yes, had more Yoruba.
Had more Yoruba English dialogue?
No, I don't think so. I think it still had not as much, but it still had more Yoruba, right? Now, that's one. You then go on to Lionheart.
Okay.
Lionheart has 12%, just under 12% actually.
Yeah.
Igbo. And 94% English. So when you think, for anybody who's watched Lionheart, when you think of Lionheart, you think of it as an English-speaking film. You don't think of it as an Igbo-speaking film. Just like when you watch King of Boys, you think of it more as a Yoruba-speaking film. You forget that there's a lot of English in it.
The nuances.
Yes, exactly. Now, and a lot of the adages and proverbs, etc., that were thrown around. Then you go on to Mokalik by Kunle Afolayan. Mokalik is 99% Yoruba. Just like pinches of English all over the place. Right? So now, given those three choices, given the category, given the rule of that category, please tell me, if you were the chair, a member, you know, if 10 of you, 15 of you were to choose a film to represent Nigeria in that category, what would you go for?
Based on that rule, I think I'll go for something that doesn't really speak English at all.
Which is Mokalik. So which then begs the question, how did they get to the point of choosing Lionheart, which I'm a huge fan. It's a beautiful film, Lionheart. I loved it. I loved the honesty.
But now there's vitriol and there's reactions about it being disqualified. But we didn't get this really being pointed when we said, oh, we're submitting, the committee is submitting Lionheart. Nobody raised eyebrows like, oh, wait a minute, guys. What about the rules? That Lionheart has English. Or if
do you think they would have listened? No, they wouldn't, because you remember, I think the chair was even here, and she said, she came to this station, and she said, we are sure, we are confident of what we have, of the choice that we've made. So go with it. Maybe they know something that we didn't know.
Was it a lapse, or was there, you know, an omission there? In the sense that, okay, maybe they missed a bit of detail, because these things do happen.
Shall I be frank with you?
All right, be my guest.
It's called the Nigerian factor, aka anyhowness. Yes, bam, I said it. It's anyhowness. There is absolutely no justification of it, because if you look at the list, the members of the committee, these are smart, intelligent
these are people that you know.
These are smart, intelligent people. These are people who know rules. These are people who know their craft. These are people who have been operating within this field, so they knew. They knew what they were doing, and that's what I keep saying. Nigerians, rather than reacting emotionally and behaving like petulant children, saying the Oyimbos have done it to us again, ask the question of your community. It's not harsh. When a child refuses to accept that they broke the rules, that is petulance. That is arrogance. No, you don't step aside for something that is so simple. It says predominantly non-English speaking. In fact, it's unambiguous.
So the movie's not going to get nominated. It's not going to make it there. We're not going to have a Nigerian movie at the Oscars next year.
You know what it is? We're probably the first country with a film that's ever been disqualified. I'm yet to check that. But the embarrassment, the embarrassment is colossal. The indictment is on all of us. The shame is ours to carry.
On what Nollywood is.
And we need an apology from the NOSC, the Nigerian Oscar Selection Committee needs to apologize to all of us.
From apologize, I think they have released a statement recently.
Yes, and they blame Nollywood.
Really?
Yes. In their statement, the long and short of it was, well, this will teach Nollywood to learn to produce more indigenous language film, but that's not true. We have lots of films.
So you're pointing about the case of shifting the blame.
It's in football they call it deflecting.
Deflecting, because you're the body who submitted. You have three choices.
Did they put it to a public vote? They didn't.
Of course not. It's not
you chose. You had the choices to make. You had the films in front of you. You chose the film that went. So you messed up, and we can all make mistakes. What we are not allowed to do, and what people constantly do in this country, is to not take accountability, not take responsibility, and be immature by not apologizing.
You're calling out the committee now.
Absolutely.
It's been done, but to own it, right?
Own it.
Rather than, deflect.
Own it.
I think we might have, this all sparked from a tweet from American actor and producer.
So Ava DuVernay, who I don't know what she was playing at, because I'm a huge fan of hers.
Yeah, she's American.
She's American, but you have to remember that there's racial politics involved in all of this.
True.
So
well, I wish we can take some of those. I think we had them last.
She actually went and said, you're not, so you're disqualifying Nigeria for speaking English when you colonize
the
them.
reaction on social media was Genevieve Inaji, the director of the film, responded
and said, "Hello, Eva. Thank you. I'm Genevieve. I'm the director of the film." And she said her film was in English and is representing one Nigeria because English is the collective language of Nigeria.
You think maybe there wasn't a point there?
No. The rules are the rules. Look, let me give you an example.
Let's take this. This is Genevieve's response to Ava DuVernay. Says, I am the director of Lionheart. The movie represents the way we speak as Nigerians. This includes English, which acts as a bridge between the 500 plus languages spoken in our country, thereby making us #One Nigeria. I think there's another tweet that follows this one. From Genevieve Inaji, right? So, and she also copied the Art Academy. She's talking about Nigeria being predominantly an English-speaking country because hey,
let's talk about that. Language. English is our official language. Fine, I get it. Guess what? Let me give you. This is how you will look at it. Let me give you an example. What language do they speak in Ireland?
Irish, English.
Thank you.
With an Irish accent.
Exactly. Now, if they were going to enter a film for that category, it would have to be in Gaelic, which is actually the Irish, indigenous accent and the indigenous language, and that is the point here. That is the point here. It's not about a country that's got a film that speaks in the language of the country. I mean, they even talked about francophone. What the next tweet that Genevieve said was to do with francophone countries, right? Now, Francophone countries, they're called Francophone, they speak French.
So if they did a movie...
Anglophones spepe English.
If they did a movie from a Francophone country, definitely
they can pass. Yeah, of course, because they're speaking in a foreign, non-English language.
We'll look at the response because you're pointing out the committee for not taking responsibility from that statement. So
I think we need to call them out.
Right now, right here, Breakfast Central on News Central. Now, this is quite a lengthy one. The NOC is admitting to the mistake made. I want to circle the word there, mistake made, while submitting Genevieve Inaji's Lionheart for the Oscars, full stop. The Nigeria Oscars Selection Committee has admitted they made a mistake in submitting Genevieve's Lionheart for Oscar consideration. In a statement, the committee's chairman, Chineze Ayene, who has been on the show before, the nominees in the Best International Feature Film category must have predominantly non-English dialogue track. And Lionheart, despite being an unmistakably Nigerian film, did not tick the box. So this is the quote from them now. The burdened Nigerian film industry is often faced with producing films with wide reach, which often makes the recording dialogue predominantly English with non-English infusions in some cases. Now, going forward, the committee intends to submit films that are predominantly foreign language. That is, non-English recording dialogue. I can put in quotes there, Nigerian languages, Igbo, Yoruba, what have you. We therefore urging filmmakers to shoot with the intention of non-English recording dialogue as a key qualifying parameter to represent the country in the most prestigious award. Okay.
That's this morning's statement. The statement that actually came out yesterday was different to this. This is because we've all been pushing. I'm one of the people that's been pushing on social media that you need to take ownership of this. You need to apologize to Nigerians rather than deflecting blame. So I'm glad to see this new statement that's come today that they're saying we admit it. But they haven't apologized. Look, you have to remember that this is a big deal for Nollywood. It's a huge deal. And if it's a huge deal for Nollywood, it's a huge deal for Nigeria. Think of the progress that our musical artists have made. And we all learn and lean and claw from that joy. And our children are inspired. The children in the diaspora, it means a lot to them to say, that's Wizkid, he's my brother, he's from the same country as I am.
There's also the call about, the guy want to play devil's advocate here, little time. We're talking about when a Nigerian film blows popularity in the market, in the cinema, it's mostly in English, which is what, it was made for us and us because we want to cut across Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, what have you. Now, if a movie comes in a specific one language, one tribe, one ethnic group, it might not blow in the cinema, but it will be good to go submit for Oscar. There you have it.
So let me deal with that.
Okay.
Good point. So that says a lot more about us as a people and the way we interact with ourselves and the ethnic biases which we all still possess there that we need to get rid of. It's a burden.
In one language, but
this is
resonate,
no. It speaks about us, right? Number one. Number two, it also speaks about that laziness that has become us because many don't want to read subtitles. They just want everything to blow and all of that stuff, right? That's true.
Okay.
But number three is. If we begin to look at our films, and this is not the audience now, these are the filmmakers. When you're producing a film, you know, there are different genres to produce a film, and there are different reasons. Some movies are fluff and we'll still enjoy it. Some movies are...
We're talking about critical films, Nigerian films, not stereotype, slapstick, comedy.
Thank you. Yeah. So if we now start to find producers who are producing films or directors from the point of a critical connection and interrogation with the audience.
Okay, to hold you on that,
rather than moral, which is what we always do.
There are a couple of big movies that were critical. I look like 76. Something was a good movie back in the day.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I really watched that.
Fantastic.
How about Pigeon?
Why have we not started?
Non-English, it's a critical movie. It's a good movie. It doesn't have to be so comedic and so slapstick and so stereotypy, but can still surpass, because I think Pigeon goes across.
It cuts across.
Yeah, maybe going forward, a critical movie. How about that? I'm just being.
I totally agree.
I come from a background of heavy Pigeon.
Right. You see, and that's the difference. I totally agree with you, even though my Pigeon is next to embarrassment. But guess what? As a child, when I was growing up, and as I became an adult, when I was growing up in the UK, one of the ways my Yoruba got better was by watching Nollywood Yoruba films. Yoruba movies, yeah. So now, if you start to do more films in Pidgin, imagine what's going to happen with my Pidgin.
Pidgin mixed with Yoruba.
It doesn't matter.
Pidgin mixed with Hausa.
Look, there's a wonderful artist called Venus Rising. Yeah. It's Pidgin opera. A whole opera piece is done in Pidgin. Fantastic, incredible.
We really can go on and on and on and on. It is. Thank you so much.
We're going to learn from this.
Bakare-Yusuf. It's been such a pleasure. We'd like to have you on other topics, not just film and culture, right here, veteran broadcaster and film critic, right here, Breakfast Central on News Central. I think I'll take Pidgin for this one. We go take break at this point, and when we come back, there's still more for the show. Breakfast Central on News Central, and so we did. No go nowhere. Stay with us.